invitation to be here tonight. Well, can you hear me? It's good?
Sir.
Okay. Well, when Kit called, he said that you're a apolitical organization. And he told me that I could not talk about politics. Well, see, that's kind of a hard bill for me to fill because I grew up around a kitchen table where they always talked about the two taboos, religion and politics. So I searched the data banks and I came up with 3 things that politicians never discuss: honor, courage, and commitment. Well, so let's talk about honor. For 239 years, we've gotten together to honor those who went before. Most importantly, to remember those who gave it all for our nation, for our freedom. It's vitally important to remember the sacrifices and struggles that our country has gone through. But shame on us, the few, if we fail to honor the sacrifices of those who shaped our core. In Belleau Woods, World War II, Korea, Vietnam, Beirut, Grenada, Panama, Iraq, and Afghanistan. They remind us of the cost of freedom. History teaches us that peace is a fragile thing. And it also reminds us that the wolf's always on the doorstep, ready to crush freedom. Our country was founded on honor. The honor of 56 men birthed the nation. The last word in the Declaration of Independence is honor. And for the support of this declaration, with a firm reliance on the protection of divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor. The founders understood that they were signing their death warrant when they signed the Declaration of Independence. The Marine Corps, more than any other organization that I know of, is about honor. 39 years ago today, I was at MCRD San Diego. And I was hearing about honor for the first time when DIs told us that there's no such thing as an ex-Marine. The DIs told us that Lee Harvey Oswald was a Marine. The DIs told us that from now on, our lives were about bringing honor to the Corps and to a country. Honor is awarded when we were given the title Marine, but it can be lost in a moment. Honor is something that's earned every day. So let's discuss courage. There's 2 types of courage in the world. Physical courage is the one that we men think about the most. You know, when we're little boys, we want to be superheroes. When we join the Marines, we think that we're going to be the guy that attacks the machine gun nest. And I'll bet if you ask most of the men in this room, they often think about putting themselves in extreme danger to save someone's life. True or not?
Sir.
That's right. But the truth is, most of us will spend our lives never having our physical courage challenged. You know, the truth is we train 2 Marines exactly the same, and at the point of testing, one's a hero and one's a zero. And we don't know really what makes a person go above and beyond the call of duty. But in my opinion, it's great love. I remember in Iraq one time, we were working out of an old Iraqi military base, and about 20 yards away, we had a barracks that our Marines were billeted in. And when the mortar attack started and it was walking towards our position, it sounded like the barracks took a direct hit. When we looked outside, the talcum powder dirt of Iraq had totally engulfed the barracks. And I had to grab this young Marine, keep him from running out there in the middle of the mortar attack. But I'm telling you, he wasn't running out there for Old Glory or the USA. He was running out there for the love of his buddies. But there's another courage that I say is more important. It's called moral courage. Moral courage is tested every day of our lives. Moral courage is the decision to do the right thing for the right reason. And the difference is, physical courage happens in a second, in a flash, in a moment. But moral courage is always premeditated. You always have the opportunity to do the right thing. And should you choose the wrong thing, moral courage gives you the strength to go back and make it right. You don't have to look very far in today's society to see the failure of moral courage. I know of nothing else that is tied more closely to honor than moral courage. Like physical courage, it takes great love to stand up for what you believe in, whether it's your God, your family, or your country. But make no mistake, if you do the right thing, people will attack you. I remember when I joined the Marines, the enemy was the communists. We had the saying, better off dead than red, kill a commune for mommy. You know, Vietnam came about because of the domino effect of communism. But Vietnam didn't end the Cold War. It continued till the wall came down. Why is it to remember the past and focus on honor, courage, and commitment? Because you see, our country is being reshaped right before our eyes. We are becoming the godless, big government, loss of freedom nation that we were taught to fight against. We have forgotten where we came from and what made this country great. We have kicked God out of the public square. We have embraced 7 out of the 10 planks of Marxist communism. The federal government has put over 300,000 criminal laws and regulations into the books. The IRS has become weaponized by the government. NSA collects all your data. Our borders are overrun by illegals, and our staggering national debt. You get the picture. So why do I bring it up? If we are to remain the land of the free, it's time for the brave to step up. I've heard much sickening talk of revolution in our nation. We don't need revolution. We need restoration. I've seen countries that have fallen apart. I want to see men and women of moral courage standing up and restoring honor to our nation, educating our youth on the meaning of freedom and the corresponding requirement for responsibility and accountability. You see, everyone in this room who ever wore the uniform swore an oath to support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. The enemy of freedom is ignorance. Thomas Jefferson said it best. He said, if a nation expects to be ignorant and free, it expects what never was or ever will be. You people in this room have never been ordinary people, never been ordinary citizens. Otherwise, you'd have never joined the Marine Corps. My challenge to you Marines is the 5th General Order you memorized in boot camp: to quit my post only when properly relieved. You weren't relieved of your duty to your country. Our country is dying for lack of principled leadership. Not one soul in this room has given his all. And there's no lack of valuable wisdom, knowledge, and experience in this room that isn't important to pass on to the rising generations. Our country needs your leadership in our schools, in our churches, in our government, and in our businesses. What you have done in the past, your experience, your training, your honor, your courage, your commitment, are vitally important to our nation. What counts today is what you do tomorrow. In order to change our nation and give our future generations hope, we need to take every opportunity to lead, educate, and motivate. Think about it. 56 men birthed this nation with a pledge to each other. What can 20 men do to make Helen a model city for the rest of the state and the nation? I want to leave you with a quote. It was on the temporary cemetery in Iwo Jima. When you go home, tell them for us and say, for your tomorrow, we gave our today. God bless you. God bless the United States, and Semper Fi.